Morning, morning out there. Please let me know if you can hear me well. Just let me know in the live chat if you can hear me, please, so I don't talk to myself the whole time. Good morning. Morning, Adrian. Jeff, good morning. I'm glad seeing the same people coming back. Great, thanks, Jeff. I'm really glad seeing the same people coming back because it means that you're consistent. It means that you're trying. And also it means hopefully that you start seeing a little bit of benefit. Morning, Marco. Even though it's taking a lifetime and maybe more to develop all our mental inhibitions, the minute we start working on these inhibitions, the minute we start taking control of our mind, then there's an immediate result. There's something starts happening immediately, and there's an immediate benefit. So I hope that you guys start seeing the benefit. The more you work, the harder you work, the more consistent, the more benefit you're going to have. 9 o'clock. I'm going to start. It's 9. Hope some more people join us. But what I want to say is lockdown day number 16 in South Africa and other places around the world. It's been locked down for longer already. And there's definite issues starting to come up. Frustration. Being locked down is not an easy thing. And whether you're alone, whether you're with your family, things starting to come up. Now, the things that come up, they are not the result of the lockdown. They're a result of the seeds of these mental impurities that we already have in our mind. But being in a situation that is new and different and pressurizing is bringing the things onto the surface, and we start reacting with frustration, and we impatient and fear and uncertainty, and all this comes up to the surface. But the seeds to these impurities, they've been in our mind. Morning, Dirk. They've been, Winston. These seeds, they've been in there the whole time, and they come to the surface regularly, but normally we just have ways of going around them. We just, what we do is normally we take care of our discomfort by giving ourselves sensory pleasures. So we go, we buy something, it makes us feel good. We treat ourselves to good food, it makes us feel good. But everything is, all these sensory objects that we use to feel better, they can only make us feel better for a little while, and then we start being uncomfortable again. So when we practicing, the idea of practicing anapanasati, that's the type of meditation that we practice here, is to go beyond the sensory pleasure, to start understanding that sensory pleasure can only take us that far. And in fact, sensory pleasure makes us a lot more miserable, because we, every time we give ourselves sensory pleasure, we keep on, and the pleasure passes, we start craving for more of the same pleasure, and it goes into a pattern that we are very miserable, because the minute we don't have the pleasure, we craving for it. The minute we are feeling discomfort, we craving for the pleasure. And this constant craving makes us miserable at the end. So, anapanasati, we practice observation of our breath as it comes in and as it goes out. And we observe the breath right here below our nostrils. The narrower the area, the more focus and the more sharp our mind becomes. The things that we have to be aware of when we observe the breath. First of all, there's a pattern. The pattern always changes, always changes, always changes. Life is never stagnant, always changing. Everything is always changing. And because things are changing, there's no need to get attached to anything. If we get attached, that's how we start suffering. We suffer the consequence of us always wanting to be at the same place. So the same pleasure, the same moment that makes us feel good. But the moments that make us feel good, they pass. Also moments that make us feel bad, they pass. So no attachment. We got to see the pattern, how the pattern always changes. So when you observe your breath, be aware of the pattern, be aware of the change, and be aware of the mind matter phenomena, how what goes in your mind affects your matter, affects your breath in that case. And what happens in your breath or in your body, discomfort affects the mind. So normally when there is discomfort, our mind wants to get rid of discomfort, and the whole focus is always on the discomfort. So what we do, we stay with our breath, and we're aware that there is discomfort, but we don't react. And when we stop reacting in the same manner, the same pattern, the same way that we always react, then the patterns start changing. So find yourself in a good position, on a pillow, on the floor. If you cannot sit on the floor and you have to sit on a chair, sit on a chair. But don't lean, don't get too comfortable on the chair. On the floor, don't lay down. Sit with a straight back. Have your shoulders relaxed, straight neck. Keep your face relaxed. If you wear glasses, you can take the glasses off. And before, let me show you again, right underneath your nostrils, right this area. Close your eyes and then bring your attention to this area right below your nostrils. And observe your breath as it goes in and as it goes out. Be aware of your breath. Be aware meaning you can feel it going in, you can feel it going out. Don't visualize it. Don't use imagination. Don't verbalize it. In, out. Don't do that. Don't count 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't do that. Just observe the breath as it is and be aware of the pattern. If it's deep, then it's deep. If it's shallow, then it's shallow. If it's fast, then it's fast. If it's slow, then it's slow. If it goes in through your right nostril, then accept it. If it goes in through the left nostril, then accept it. Whatever the experience, just accept it. Observe the breath as it goes in and as it goes out, objectively, naturally. Don't try to manipulate it. This is not a breathing exercise. This is just observation of the breath. And just be aware, for as long as you can, stay with your breath. When you feel that your mind is drifting and you realize that, just bring it back to your breath. And do it objectively, without any frustration, without any anger. It may happen 100 times in 20 minutes, but just be aware that this is how your mind is right now. This is the result of years of agitation, years of not being able to maintain focus. And it's okay. You are observing your breath as it is, and you are accepting your truth right now. The more you're going to react with frustration, the deeper the pattern of frustration is going to come. So just be objective. And if you feel that you are drowsing away, falling asleep, nodding, just take a couple of deeper intentional breaths and then go back to observing your breath as it is. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Just observe the breath naturally. We try not to lose sight with the breath and be aware of every breath that goes in and every breath that goes out. Every time that you feel that your mind is drifting away, just bring it back to your breath. So we meditate for about 17 minutes, maybe 18 minutes. You can continue meditating on your own. It's definitely advisable. Don't forget to meditate morning and evenings. So for now, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening is good. It's enough. But if you can do 20 minutes or 30 minutes morning, 30 minutes evening, even better. Try and stay continuously with your breath throughout the day. It's going to help you. Use the insight that you have from your meditation and use it in the day. Otherwise, if you don't do it, then the meditation just becomes a ritual. So a ritual is not going to give you all the benefits. You don't want to use meditation as a ritual. You just want to use the insight that you get and the awareness that you have, and you want to use it throughout the day. So also before you fall asleep, just be right here with your breath for a few minutes. And the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, be with your breath. Before you jump out of bed, just be with your breath. And it will help you to maintain consistent awareness throughout the day. It will just become a second nature. And keep on going. I'm gonna keep on being here every morning. Definitely during lockdown. Here in South Africa, we still got almost full 3 weeks to go. So I'm gonna be here. Now, if you have any questions, any comments, please, put them in the live chat, in the box right now, and I'll try and answer as best as I can. Also, you can comment if you've been doing this with me for the last 2 weeks and you start seeing a little bit of benefits, a little bit of change. Maybe you can share it as well. It's gonna maybe help the others that come onto this call. So I'm gonna be here for a couple more minutes, and I'm gonna just monitor the live chat. All right, thanks, Winston. Glad you were on. IRL, Edna, good you were on. Okay, great. So I see that there are no questions. If you want to ask me a question directly, you can also send me a message, send me an email. Matthew. All right, I'm glad it's helping, Matthew. Gabby, good morning. Every time you feel the urge to jump, Matthew, go back to your breath. Thanks, Pat. Great, Pat. Thanks for sharing. That's the way, Matthew. Doesn't make sense to stress about what we cannot change. And when we practice, we actually develop the awareness from our own experience, because we see how things always change within ourselves. It's not just an intellectual understanding, it is an understanding from our own inner experience. So that's what makes meditation, or that's what makes Anapana so powerful. Cool, guys. I'm wishing you all a beautiful day. Adrian, thanks. Good. That's really what it's supposed to, that's how it's supposed to help you develop the right awareness, and you start understanding what happens in your mind and how it affects your discomfort, your physical discomfort. And the more you're going to practice morning and evening, every day, not only during lockdown, all the way through for the rest of your life. Winston, it is when you sit down to meditate, but use the awareness of your breath always when you walk. And if for some reason you have issues sitting, and you get too uncomfortable, and it's maybe a physical condition, or then you can walk, but you got to stay aware of your breath, and not basically, don't be aware of your walk, be aware of the breath. So the idea is to use the faculty of awareness of our breath throughout the day. So definitely you do it also when you walk. But to really to meditate, if you can sit down and meditate, it's better. Because if you're gonna walk, maybe you're walking because you're uncomfortable sitting, and it's already a reaction. Namaste, Adrian. Cool, guys. Thanks so much for coming. Hope to see you all tomorrow, same time. The link for tomorrow's session is going to be underneath uh, this session, the recording of this one. You can always go to the playlist of all the rest of the recording, and also the next session is always going to be there. I think posted on the top of it. Depends in what device you're using, whether it's on the top or on the side, but it's always going to be there. Cool, guys. Thanks, Winston. I hope I answered your question. All right. And happy Easter, everyone.